Hey guys, Tony here. Hey, I just want to show you how to set up WordPress and get your hosting going. So we're going to take you over here to A2 Hosting. They just redid their website. Looks really good. I like these guys. They're the host I use for a bunch of websites I own. And I've tried other hosts, and including HostGator and others, and these guys are the best ones I've found by far. Really good support. They answer your questions. Pricing is really good. Super fast servers. That's the thing they're trying to do. It doesn't seem like they pack too many people on a server. I like that too. And yeah, they've even fixed stuff on some sites that we've moved over, and pretty impressive. You know, you'd have to pay for that other places, so it's it's a good place. So what you're gonna do is go over here and look for WordPress and get going on their WordPress system here. In a second, we'll see the pricing on this page. They've got 3 plans, and the prices here they're showing are half price because they have a sale with this code. And also, this is kind of their best pricing if you buy, well, they have monthly and then they have, you know, yearly plans too. But let me just quickly go through these plans. This one, the light plan, is for 1 domain, 5 databases. They still have SSD, which is solid state drives. All their hosting's that way. You don't have the turbo and you don't have this A2 accelerator, but if you want to go with a good plan for hosting that's not expensive, this one's just fine. Swift, you probably want to go with this if you want to go with unlimited websites, okay? You can get more websites going, and it's going to be cheaper to get a plan this way than buying a few of these. So I believe you can always upgrade. They've done that for me before too. So you could start here. Otherwise, if you know you're going to do a few websites right away, you can just go with a Swift, make it easy. Same thing, but you get unlimited databases and you don't get the turbo yet. But over here in the turbo, same thing, fast servers, SSD drives, unlimited domains, databases, storage, up to 20 times faster, and they have the accelerator. And their accelerator is like a plugin they've tuned to help everything run better when you run WordPress. So you'll install that. Actually, they install that for you if you get them to do it. So this is the plan I have. The one I have actually comes about 28 a month. We'll see what it comes out to here, but we're going to go with that. So let's let's look at details just so you guys can see this page is kind of impressive actually. They just go through all the plans. If you want to kind of figure out, see more details about their plans, and here they even brag about fewest users per server, which I definitely agree with that. And there's more here. I mean, there's a lot of this stuff. If you guys are new to this, probably isn't going to make any sense to you, but if you're kind of geeking out about how big the network is and how many core processors are on the server, I mean, these are great specs. 12 core processors, 64 gigs of RAM. I mean, that for the price you get, that is just insane. They even do site migration. I didn't know that. They've got backups. So that first plan didn't have them, but the second and third did. So that's a good feature for sure to have. They do this hack scan thing. They have 99.9% upgrade or uptime guarantee, which actually sounds really good, but to tell you the truth, they can be down something like 8 hours a year and still maintain that. But so that's one of those things that sounds better than it is. But when you get to 99.999, that's called 5 nines, and that's, I think it's less than an hour of downtime a year. But still, I mean, 8 hours a year, you're still going to be fine. So don't worry about that. And there's more and more and more and more. Okay, so pick that plan. Let's go with, I think most of you guys are going to pick the Swift plan. So let's go there. You're going to put in your domain. I was here a minute ago, so that's why I remembered that one. That's the one I want. I'm going to say, yeah, let's register it. Otherwise, if you have one, put it in and they'll figure it out. and they'll set it up for you. Otherwise, if you don't have a domain yet, you can still register. Just come up with something over here with maybe what you think your domain might be. You can change that later, and you're going to choose .a2hosted.com, but I'm going to go with this domain I want to register. Okay. And I'm going to do, they want me to choose how long to register it. And you don't want to do 1 or 2 years. Definitely not. The minimum would be 3. I would suggest anywhere between 5 and 9 years to register it. So that way when Google comes to your site, they're seeing a domain that's going to be around a while and they trust your site more. Let's go with 5 years on this one. So it's $75. So that's not too bad. And then they have these other domains they say you might want to do. They do let you choose those if you want. I'm not going to do that, but you can buy those if you want. Billing cycle. If you choose the 24-month price, that means you're paying the whole thing right now. That's 2 years. Otherwise, they have a year plan, and you're going to save $24. But let's just start with the month plan. That's $12.99 a month. That's not bad. Dedicated IP. You can do this or you can get it later, but this is the kind of thing you might want to do now if you're thinking about it. And when you get an SSL certificate on your website, it doesn't mean your website's secure in the sense that it can't be hacked. It means that whatever data you're sending from the web server to whoever's connecting to it, so someone on their computer or on their phone, that's going to be a secure connection. It's going to be encrypted. And Google kind of likes that. Google would kind of like every website out there to have this. So they kind of give you extra bonus points for having this. And that's $4 a month extra. Okay. All right, server location. You don't want to pick anything else if you're going to be in the US. You want to pick the USA location. If you want extra fast processing, you can go with this Turbo Web Hosting. Okay. You can also do this option down here, double CPU cores. This is actually upgrading to the next plan. Okay. Let's just stick with this for now. Firewall, you don't need that. SSL, this is where you actually buy the certificate. So if you have an SSL certificate, you need this dedicated IP address. Okay, you can't do it without that. So if you want SSL, you have to have both. But buying it here is actually a little expensive. It looks like it's $50 a year. Actually, that's not too bad. You could search around and get it a little cheaper if you want. I've already got one, so I'm going to say no, but you could do that. Actually, I would need it for the new domain, but I'm not going to probably do that. Well, let's check it, just see what the price is. Cloudflare, faster and safer. They have a free plan, Cloudflare does, so you don't need to do that. And I've got a testimony or a article on my website about it, so you do not need to do this $3 monthly. I would skip that. Down here, you want to choose their WordPress A2 Optimize because that's going to have the plugin already and they're going to install WordPress. So you're fine. So down here, they're coming with this $66.94 a month. Now let's try this. Let's turn off the SSL. And Yep, that's right. So you do not want to do this SSL. This says per year, but I think this is confusing and they want to charge you $50 a month for an SSL certificate, which I sort of get why they're doing that because you buy them for a year and you might leave early or something, but you can get them cheaper. So I would say skip their SSL and you can go somewhere else. So you're going to end up with, this is more reasonable, $16.99 a month. Okay. You're going to add that to your cart, check out, and then just go through the rest of this. This ID protection is probably, that makes they also call this private registration. And they are right. It does help protect against spammers because you can do something called a whois record on your domain and you might have your your own email address and street address and everything showing up there. So I've got another way around that. I use a PO box because I have so many domains, but this is probably worth doing. Okay, you could buy your domain somewhere else. It might be cheaper, but it's really somewhere in this range. So I would suggest doing that because that's almost the kind of thing you can't undo, because once that information is out there, they might grab it and then spammers have a hold of it and you're stuck with a lot of spam and mail and all that kind of stuff. So if that is a concern, and it is for most people, then you probably want to go with that. Okay. So this tells you what you're paying now and then how much it's going to be a month. Again, I'm buying the domain registration and the privacy. So these are about the things you're looking for. And then they had a coupon code. So I think it was that. Or I've got some on my site too. And okay, they applied it. So now it's going to be due today is $132, and recurring is still $17. So I got a little break on the first month, it looks like. So you'll fill this in, give them your credit card, agree to their terms, hit complete order, and I'll see you guys on the other side. All right, guys, you should be all set up. Should have got an email from A2 Hosting or a message with all the information in it, which would be where to log in, your account details, all that good stuff. All right. Now, sometimes it takes about 5-10 minutes maybe for the DNS, the domain name service, to catch up and get your domain name recognized. So after you get done with your order from A2, it's a good idea to just, go get a coffee or something, take a little break. Come back in about 10 minutes and everything will be ready to go. It's kind of what happened with me here. So I just want to warn you about it. And next you'll have this login page, which will be your WordPress login. You're going to want to do a Control D to bookmark it. I already did. If you're on a Mac, Command D. All right. So you remember where this page is. Put in the username, password, the CAPTCHA. I have to click Remember Me. Log in, and now you're at your WordPress dashboard. Now I got this thing they wanted me to sign up for this Clef, which I said forget it. It's up to you. You can look into that if you want. But let me show you a few things I do just to get the website ready to go. I like to get this thing out of the way, so I hit dismiss. Up here in screen options, you can turn a few things off. So I'm going to turn off probably this Clef thing, quick draft, those for sure. So we'll go to quick draft, cited Clef enabled. We'll get the Jetpack later, or you can do that now if you want. It'd be good to have that because that's going to turn into your kind of stats bar. So I like to move that over here. And let's turn off that thing and move this up here. I like to move activity up. Whoops, this thing got moved. There you go. So now I got at a glance. All right, this will be your stats once you get that set up. Really easy to do. You'll need a WordPress account, but that's simple to get. Some things with A2, all right. That's their plugin, telling you about a few things. So you're set up there. You can go to posts, delete the Hello World one that's there. Go to pages, delete the sample page, you don't need that. Next, you're going to go to settings. Make sure your site title and everything's fine. Don't mess with these. They should be fine. Email address. Choose your time zone. I'm in Wisconsin, or as they say on TV, Wisconsin. So I'm going to pick Chicago. Pick which day you want the week to start on, whatever you want to do. Okay. Writing, this looks good. I have a file I'm going to include for this update services because there's a lot more you can put in here and that really helps with SEO. So that's where we're going to do that. Take that one out because that's in my list. Paste it in and then hit save changes on that one. With reading, 10 posts on your front page is good. Sometimes I go down to 8, but 10 is fine, so default. Discussion settings, these are usually fine too. I think it's good to let people post comments on there. So, and you'll get notified when people leave comments. So that's fine. With media, these are pretty good. If you change your theme, that's gonna alter these slightly, so you don't have to worry about that. With permalinks, the one you want to choose is custom structure, okay? And then you just want post name, just this so in there. So it's actually going to look like this. You're going to have /% post name, post name %/. Should look like that. Okay. These are good. Login URL, that's fine. You can change this if you want, so you log in a different place. You just don't want the normal WordPress one, which is like wp-admin.php or, no, it's actually this one right here. So you don't want this, but you can put anything else here, something you'll remember. Make sure you bookmark it, but that's where you change it if you want to do that. It's nice they put in this image optimizer. I believe the settings here are fine. This just means when you upload any images, it's going to compress them and make them as small as possible for you. Okay. This is the A2 plugin where it says performance, and it's got total cache in there, and they've got, I believe they have some settings already done for you, so you should be fine there. Okay, and that's about it. With Jetpack, you do want to get that set up. I already have an account, so it's doing that. What you do is once you have your account, you're going to hit connect. It's going to get everything going. I like to turn on the stats. I like to do the sharing so the icons appear. I do not like to do the image caching, or I think that's called Photon. Do not use that because the way this A2 server is set up, you're better off having images on your server where everything's optimized than going with another server, which is another connection. DNS has to resolve all that fun stuff, which isn't worth it. So this is what I was talking about. I'm going to deactivate Photon. This is good. Protect against brute force attacks. Leave that on. We can set up the monitor if you want. Site stats you definitely want. Sharing you want. And you can connect this with your social media accounts so that when you do a new post, a new article on your website, it'll post to your Facebook and Twitter accounts. Definitely set that up. I'm sorry, that's publicized. Sharing has to do with what icons are set up. We can go into that next. Publicized, I just talk about that. Related posts is good. Everything else is good there. There's even more features, but these are kind of the main ones. So then we're sharing. You go to settings and sharing. And on this page, this is where you can connect your different accounts. I definitely do Facebook and Twitter. I have one site where I'm just using Twitter as promotion, so I don't use Facebook. I figure, you might as well do one social media, account and do it really well than spread yourself out too thin. But down here you've got these services, and they've already set up this Twitter, Facebook, and Google Plus icons for you. But if you wanted an email or a printer-friendly option, you can drag that down, so people can email the page or whatever. And this is how it's going to look down here. Okay, probably at least have those three. I like the icons. You can have share this, or sometimes I just take that out. People know what to do. So it looks a little cleaner. And then I like how they have it set up here just on posts. Okay. Sharing pages is probably going to be a good idea and all this stuff. So you can put in a Twitter site tag. So you can put in the username of the owner of the site. That's a pretty good idea. And hit save changes and you are set. So if you're taking my class, the next thing we're going to learn, or my course, next thing we're going to learn is how to set up posts, how to integrate everything we've been talking about already, give you some writing tips, all that good stuff. So see you there.